It looks like it's going to be a perfect day to maybe, hey, just lie in bed, sleep in, or simply work out that flab that's hanging over the bed!
Timmy, what do the battery levels say? A carrot-powered atomic alarm clock.
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the show that puts on an annual watermelon speed-sitting contest.
I mean, all you have to do is lift your feet up in the air and you're down.
A lot of good contestants on that one.
As in good contestants, they don't sue us from all the back problems they get from participating.
When we come back from our break, we're going to be doing the science show.
The science show.
Get your beakers and tie your sneakers, because we'll be right back with the science show. Stay tuned.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
Move to the back of the bus, folks. Fill up the back seats.
Good grief.
Why don't you guys sit in the back of the bus?
Because you're playing Comedy Parenting Radio up here, and we want to hear it.
And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south. Yes, if I ever lose my mouth, oh, I won't have to talk.
Hey kids, I'm Bob the Solanum Lycopersicum, and we're on The Science Show. The show with science, and more science, and more science.
What are we going to learn about today?
Well, kids, before we get into the science, we've got to realize where we get our money from so that the show can happen. So a big thank you to our sponsors, the government, my grandma, and Ooey Gooey Gummy Toes.
The snack that you get stuck on.
I love them when they get stale.
In the lab today, I've got 3 special friends. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Timmy, Tommy, and Tiara. So, treaties, have you all signed your legal waivers?
I can't even write my name.
And is everyone wearing safety goggles and hazard suits?
I can hardly fit in this thing.
Bob, I don't think these suits are lead-lined.
You don't need lead, Timmy. Lead is for the weak. Alrighty, kids, now that we're all here in the lab and we're all situated, let's start with some science!
Yay! Science! Woohoo!
Yes, science.
Am I getting paid?
Let's start out with the classic household experiment of science and learning, making a carrot-powered atomic alarm clock.
I've always wanted to make one of those.
So first things first, you're gonna need a ton of carrots. Like at least 2.
So we get a nice field trip out to the farm?
My Aunt Edna has a massive carrot farm, and I bet you this one time she went to the store and she bought these carrots, and the carrots didn't quite work out, so she picked them up and she put them in the truck.
Okay, Tom, okay. I'm sure your Aunt Edna has some great carrot farms. Kids, let's go to the refrigerator of science and excitement and pull out the carrots of enlightenment.
Ooh. Hey, Bob.
Yeah?
This doesn't seem like a normal refrigerator.
What would you know about refrigerators, huh? But you'd be right, because I put the handle on the other side of the door.
So you pull on the side with the hinges?
Yes. Because of leverage in science and mechanical advantage.
Hey, Bob.
Yes?
I have a question, a very scientific question.
What is your very scientific question, my very scientific young friend?
Does the light stay on when you shut the refrigerator door?
I don't know. Does the light stay on? Okay. Well, let's use the scientific method to find out whether the refrigerator light stays on after the lights go off. Let's open this door here, grab the light bulb, unscrew it, and smash it on the ground. Now it will be off when the door is shut.
This guy's really good. I like watching his show.
Alrighty, let's grab the carrots. Get the carrots, or I'm cutting your contract.
Okay, I have the carrot.
Now, for the next part of our carrot-powered atomic alarm clock, we're going to need an alarm clock.
I've got one here.
You kids, get away from my alarm clock.
I'm gonna take your alarm clocks, old man, and we're going to return it better than when we found it. Now that we have the carrot and the alarm clock, we just need a few assorted parts from my junk box. And we're ready to begin.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Me too, Tom. First things first, we're going to need some wires. Timmy, can you get me some wires?
Here, you can have the wire from my braces.
Thank you, Timmy. Everyone must make sacrifices for science. Alrighty, let's wire these up to the alarm clock now. Make sure to lick the wire because it needs to be twisted together, and it's an awful lot like thread. It frays, and it will be very difficult to put through a needle if you don't lick it and twist it.
That is very true, Mr. Bob.
Next part's next. The carrot. Cut a rectangular hole in the carrot, roughly 2 inches long.
Huh?
Okay, I'll cut this hole. What size of knife should I use?
You should use the biggest one you can find, because bigger is always better. For example, black holes. There's so much mass in them that they're bound to have more resources than anyone could ever imagine. And the amount of potential energy that could fire potential forges and fire also my boss. You can cut gigantic holes with this here falchion.
Mr. Bob, is this even safe?
Questions like that are unscientific, Timmy. Who cares? Was Newton safe when the apple fell on his head? No! It could have crushed his skull or knocked him out. Or triggered his heat syncope or something.
I don't feel so good.
Or given him nausea. Now that you've cut the hole, let's insert the wire on one side of the hole. And the other wire on the other side of the rectangular hole. And then you take a AA battery and stick it in between the two. And voila, there you go, the perfect carrot-powered atomic alarm clock. Just be careful, folks, that if you're doing this at home, make sure you touch the terminals together at exactly 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. Or else. But if you do it, then you will have the perfect atomic clock that can also be an alarm clock and has a carrot as a battery.
Yeah, maybe then you'll actually come into work on time.
I do what I want, Karen.
You know, I got one of those clocks, and it loses about 5 minutes every day. I don't see how that's going to work.
We'll just find the 5 minutes, then. It's science, just like leap years. It's leap minutes. Just add 5 minutes to every day, and you're good.
I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
I got my first real six string, bought out the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled, was the summer of '69.
Well, folks, you're back with The Science Show.
The Science Show.
And I think with that low rumbling in my tumbling, it's time for some seismic activities.
How do you spell seismic activity again?
I don't know what the seismic activity thing is. I would rather see something like earthquakes or volcanoes.
Well, kids, we're going to make earthquakes and volcanoes.
Earthquakes! Woo!
This is my kind of show.
The classic science fair show. The backbone of all lazy students who don't have time to do anything original. The same science experiment that's been going on for 5,000 years in classrooms around the world. Alrighty, kids, let's come on over to this table over here, where I have built a volcano out of my ticket stubs from my college days.
Wow, it's so beautiful.
I mean, I'd have to say that's a lot of tickets.
What, were you a street racer?
I was a street racer for science! Now, children, the basis of a volcano, such as this one, is chemical reaction. So basically, we're going to get chemicals.
Cool!
And not the ones under your parents' sink. Let's come back over here to the refrigerator.
The light's still on.
How on earth is that heating filament being lit up? I would like to know. Now, let's grab the milk and the salt from the refrigerator.
Wait, you keep salt in your refrigerator?
Don't judge me.
Moo.
You have a whole cow in your refrigerator.
Moo.
Let's go back over to the volcano here. And let's pour in the milk. When you're doing this at home, folks, you have to be very precise and careful and cautious with the measurements here. We want to use exactly 2 parts milk and 18 parts salt. Here, Timmy, you pour in this bag of sugar. And, hey, Timmy, you dump in this bag of salt. And Tiara, you mix. Okay, Tiara, you're fired.
I'll mix it up. Can I use the egg beater?
No, that's too many calories. Alrighty, now the jugs of milk.
How many gallons do we need to put in?
At least 2.
I already put in 4.
Well, that's okay. I'm sure it'll all come out all right. Now let's grab the cap of the volcano. Pick up the volcano and shake it wildly. Now we wait. So, have any of you kids got solitaire? My goodness, it's the Mount Vesuvius of volcanoes in miniature scale. See, what I was telling you kids about is chemical reaction. And when you mix one good thing and one nasty thing together, people think that it's nasty, and so that causes a reaction. Therefore, chemical reaction. And science!
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, all right, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cold time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Comedy Parenting Radio.
If you trust your rebel heart, ride into battle. Don't be afraid. Take the road less traveled. Wear out your boots and kick up the gravel. Don't be afraid. Take the road less traveled on.
We're back with science.
Yay!
Take the road less traveled on. Don't follow anyone. March to the rhythm of a different drum.
Okay, kids. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's talk about mechanical advantage.
Wait.
For example, mechanical engineers make a lot of money. Mechanical engineers take that money and go on vacations.
How much money do they make?
They make boatloads, Timmy.
I wonder where they go on vacation.
Mechanical engineers can have vacations to Hawaii, Aruba, Germany, Switzerland, France, England, the Great Wall of China, pretty much anywhere in the world that you can think about.
Wow, I didn't know mechanical advantage was so advantageous.
Mechanical engineers also can afford nice cars.
Like a car newer than 2000?
That's an advantage, that's for sure.
Mechanical engineers also can afford houses and food. Unlike a lowly science guy on TV who hasn't taken a vacation in 5 years, drives a Lada, lives in a cardboard box, and eats cold ramen.
So why don't you do mechanical advantage then?
We just did. It's science! And now, children, I've saved the best for last.
Woo, what are we going to do now, Mr. Bob?
We are going to launch a rocket to the moon using a railgun. Alrighty, children, let's get rid of these fake walls that I've set up. Now you see, children, we are in the real lab with all sorts of science and gizmos.
Shiny.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Timmy, throw those switches over there.
Where did the budget come from all this?
Don't ask questions, Timmy. I demand you throw those switches over there.
Okay.
Tom, start the fuel lines.
Right on it.
Tiara, wheel out the rocket.
No.
Do it, Tiara. I know where you live.
Okay.
You can tell we spent great amounts of money on the sound effects budget this week.
Timmy, now that it's in place, hook it up to the gantry.
The pantry?
I'm
Are
hungry.
you deaf, Timmy? I said gantry.
As a matter of fact.
Tom, open the roof hatch. Tiara, start up the generators.
I think you might need a little starting fluid.
They'll hold. They've got to hold. Timmy.
That generator sounds like I worked on it.
Timmy, what do the battery levels say?
They say 4.
4 is full enough. Tom, throw the switch to the Tesla coils.
Right on it.
Alrighty, kids. We're going to launch a rocket into space once those Tesla coils reach full power. This is my life's greatest achievement. All of you can shut up.
Mr. Bob, why are we doing this?
Susan, she said I love science too much. She said I should have been there when our son was born or when he graduated instead of doing science. But I love science too much. And she said, well, if you love science so much, why don't you marry it? And you know what? I did. I married science. Now I legally own half of science, and if I divorce it, I will take that science with me to the moon. Tiara, throw the switch!
This one?
Louder!
This one?
Yes! Throw the switch!
Okay, all right. You're putting a lot of pressure on a little kid.
Yes! My rocket works! It works! My rocket! It rockets! I'm going to blow up the moon!
So is the science show over?
And this is breaking news with Courtney Begley. Today, just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, there was a rocket ship that crashed in a cornfield. Inside of the rocket cockpit, there was a navigation system that was made out of an alarm clock that's powered by a carrot battery. There was a refrigerator with a smashed light bulb outside of it. And last but not least, there were concert tickets exploded everywhere all over the cockpit, with what looked like the remnants of firecrackers, milk, and salt. Authorities also found a set of footprints leading away from the crash site headed towards the Museum of National Donuts. Pull out your umbrellas, folks. It's a weird night. Good night from Courtney Begley.
Wow, I've never seen a donut with those kind of crumbs. What a fine specimen.